Hey everyone, Merry Christmas. I really hesitate even doing this video because this journal is a gift for someone very special. And I didn't enjoy it. It's not my type of work. It's not grungy enough for me. Um, but there were a couple of things that I did do in it that I thought maybe someone else would get some inspiration from, or be able to go, oh, I got a good idea to do with that. So I thought I would real quickly just show you this journal. I'm going to cover up the name. But this is what the front looks like. It's nothing groundbreaking. I laminated it and I did make this myself on Canva. It says family favorites, homemade with love, by, and her name in her handwriting. And I did some of the vintage, the distress tape, sewed around it grungy. And I put this tag on here. The reason I did that was I think this is an electrical tag or a meter tag. And my dad worked for the electric company his whole working life. And so I thought if that's what it is, it will give her a great memory. And if it's not, we'll take it off and do something else with it. But anyway, I wanted to show you that. And here's my closure, just simple sari silk that I used. The cover is sewn to a cereal box. And I put muslin in between the cereal box and the cover. And then I also, the inside is the faux leather. I think it's called Mamagami. So if nothing else, this book smells good. It looks like this. It's made from a lunch bag. And I just put inks on it, different distress inks. I wasn't trying to make it look like leather. I was just trying to give it, a really cool color and look. So I used all different colors on it. Anyway, that's nothing new and not what I wanted to show you, but this is, of course, a letter from the bookmaker. Did some sewing in pockets, nothing over the top. This is a little baking pan brad, and I had some of these little tomato soup papers. They're just, I thought, interesting papers she could write on the back of, recipes or whatever. And that's what this is, a recipe journal for her to hopefully write down, because she's an awesome cook, hopefully write down her recipes for us to have, all of her kids and stepkids to have forever. And I just try to give interesting places for her to write. I think that's what junk journals are, places to inspire you to write. The little stamping on the muslin, sewn around, and made a lot of these little paper clips with the fabric tied on. I didn't do danglies or anything like that because it's, going to be in the kitchen, and not that that would matter to me, but I think, my dad was old school, which I think is a wonderful thing. I miss it a lot. But his thinking was, what's the point? So I don't want her to look at it and go, you didn't have any clean paper, or and she's not like that. She's not judgmental. She's not mean-hearted or mean-spirited, but I just know, like I told you in that other tutorial with the junk envelope journal, he would have so filled that out for me, but he probably would have been thinking also, why am I writing on trash? But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. So I just mainly, this is a digital kit that I got on Etsy, and I'll link it below because I don't remember the name of the kit right now, or the name of the shop. So it's just a really retro kit, and I thought it was cool and had some neat places to write. So that's mainly what that is. I did put a couple of my mason jar book pages in here that I have a tutorial on that as well. And I just put some vintage recipe cards in here and a couple stickers there. I did do a little collage here with a fork and a little bit of muslin, but again, nothing on here these are from 1971. Wow, so they're over 50 years old. I didn't do anything crazy because, like I said, somebody might like this. I don't know. It's not really my thing, but, and it was hard for me because I wanted to add so many more pockets and so many more things, and I didn't because I think my point of giving her this was to have those recipes for all of us forever. I just put in some recipe cards. I did do a little cluster here with some magazine, or I think it's actually like a newspaper from 1938 or 1930, I can't remember. I think 1938, not that it matters, but anyway. And I just sewed on a little sticker that is kind of a retro looking sticker, advertisement for Crisco. And on this was one of the things that I thought was kind of neat. These are refill pages for JPF 46 albums. Got this at the secondhand shop for $1.20, and there was, I don't know how many in here, a bunch. And I've used them several times, but not like this. And I thought this was kind of a neat way to do it. So they come in sheets like this that folds, and there's 6 on each side, so you have 12 spots total. So what I did, I folded it and I cut off the bottom one. I left you don't have to leave the seam, but I cut off the bottom. I cut down the middle as well. So I cut the 2 off the bottom, and then I cut down the middle, and I took this piece and flipped it so that both my openings would be on the outside. I hope that makes sense. So I took this piece, put it in here like this. So this is cut now. And I folded this over like this and glued it to this side. And then I sewed around like this. So like a horseshoe shape, like that, on both sheets once it was cut. And ended up with pockets like this. And then the center of it, you have this good piece here that's very heavy and very sturdy for binding. I didn't have to add anything to support it when I got ready to bind my signature, because this is very strong. I don't know what it is, but it's strong. So anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. I hope I didn't confuse you, but that's how I did that. And then, of course, you end up with 8 pockets, 4 here and 4 on this side. And I thought that made for a neat signature. So and I also had some of these little, actually these are stickers, also got at the secondhand shop, but I left the backing on them, just sewed around them, and stuck them on the front to make another pocket. So I have 10 pockets total out of this one piece, and I thought that was kind of neat. Just did some, tags, tried to make them long enough to write a recipe on. Did a little eyelet there and some fabric, little guest check that I stenciled like a coffee spill. Put some more recipe cards on that side and this side. Another writing spot, and another one of the soup things that I added a tag to. This retro kit, I believe, was in the same kit, I think. And so I just printed some of those, added some stickers and an eyelet. Nothing did a little sewing on this one. Added some more of that magazine page and some stickers. A little bit of trim. More papers. A little bit of washi. A little sewing. Ribbon. But for the most part, I mean, I didn't do a lot because, like I said, add a little more of that book page. I wanted her to be able to fill it out. I didn't leave long strings, which almost killed me. Some more stickers, more recipe cards, another one that unfolds for a recipe, hopefully. I did some of these tea-dyed index cards, a little sticker on those. Something I will tell you, when you sew around, I'm sure everybody knows this, but when you sew around, try to get as close to the edge, even off, on this as you can, because once you sew up into that, if you're not using a straight stitch, because I thought this zigzag was pretty, if you use a straight stitch, not a big deal, but like this, that eats into your space. More of the tea-dyed index cards, a little bit of sticker, more recipe cards, and just a tea-dyed piece of paper. I don't know why I put that in there. I look for her to wonder herself what it's for. But I thought it was pretty, and I added it. Another guest check. Made a little pocket. A couple little writing spots. I even thought on the back of this she could write, a little note to somebody maybe. Or a quick recipe of some sort. Another one of the mason jar with the pockets. Put some more of the retros. And then this is a recipe that I got names on it. So I made this one time and she loved it. So I copied it on tea-dyed paper and then backed it with this scrapbook paper because, well, actually this isn't scrapbook. This is, I did this on Canva, printed it, and I backed it. The reason I backed it is when I made the copy the first time, it was really, really dark. So rather than waste my tea-dyed paper, I flipped it, copied it on this side, and then put a backing on it, and then a little doily with a coffee cup brad and a spoon brad. I just tied some muslin on and stamped it onto the paper clip. But I think if you make someone a recipe journal, that's kind of a cool, a nice idea. Put in a recipe of yours for them, too. And then a little more ruffle. Rest of the, another paper clip. Rest of the digital. Okay, so this was my other happy mistake. And here's the back. More of that Mamagami. And here's the back cover with more digital. I put more distress tape, some of the magazine, put it on and pulled it off. And then on the outside, I just put some burlap and lace. Again, nothing about this I know is stop you in your tracks. That's cool, but, it is what it is. So this book plate is a digital, of course. And the backside, I put some, it is 1938. Oh, and it's December. How cool is that? That's like, she'll always remember I gave it to her in December, hopefully. So this is an advertisement from that newspaper. And I just put it on the back and grunged it a little bit. But when I did this, my paper got wrinkled. And I boogered this side up. So rather than waste it, because I loved it, I tried to figure out how to do something on the edge that would, make it look okay. So I ended up thinking, well, I'll just put some trim, like the muslin, and, I had some tea-dyed muslin, so I sewed it on there, and as I was doing it, I thought, you know what, I think there's enough gap there that I can put a pin in there. And sure enough, so you have your book plate and a pen holder. And yes, I'm going to give her a pen that looks very similar to this one with her gift. But I thought that was kind of neat. So if you mess up your laminating or whatever, you can always sew something on the side of it and make a pen holder. I didn't get to put any frou-frou things, no hangy, no dangles, no, this is not something I would have ever made for myself. I have to remember I'm making it for her, and the point is for her to write down her wonderful recipes for us to keep. And hopefully she will enjoy it and not think it's too bad. I, like I said, I'm not dogging this. I love the papers, love the digital kit. I just would have done so much more to it. And again, you know, hey, not everybody has the same style. So maybe this is something that someone would like. I don't know. I find it hard to show something that I'm not personally proud of, you know, and um I know that sounds silly, but anyway, I did this video to show you the pen holder and what you could do with the refill pages. And before I showed it, I thought you know, these may not even be available anymore, but they are. I Googled it, this JPF 46 albums thing, refill pages, and there were lots and lots of them on eBay for like nothing, couple bucks. I'm sure there are other places too, but I wouldn't have even shown it if I didn't think you could get them anymore. And who knows, maybe people have these. But again, I appreciate you stopping in. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I know you're probably looking at this thinking, well, if she would have done that, it would have been cute. I know, I just couldn't think. I couldn't think how to do things very clean. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. If you enjoyed this video, in spite of it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are interested in any of the things I've mentioned, the mason jar, I'll link it below. And something else, don't remember what. Oh, the digital kit. I'll link it below as well. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.